disbelief. The final Nintendo Switch 1 Direct happened today, and oh my goodness, I am in disbelief. Now you might know this Direct kind of came out of nowhere. Like, what the heck? Why is it 1 week before the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct is happening? This is just weird. This is unprecedented. Nintendo has never done something like this. 2 Directs in 1 week. That's weird. I don't understand. But we have so much to talk about and also very little to talk about. Also, hello everyone. Welcome to the video. We're going unscripted today. We're just going to talk about this Direct because it's kind of crazy what just happened. Nintendo obviously gave us this Direct because they needed to. This feels like it shouldn't have happened. It feels like there was like some contractual obligations that they needed to fulfill, and so they recorded a Nintendo Direct and just quickly published it. But this would have been better in February when nothing was going on. So it's just odd that it's happening a week before the Switch 2. Maybe they're doing a little good old 1-2 punch. To me, this feels more like a last minute presentation. They just wanted to tell us some things before the Switch 2 presentation that happens next week, which I'll also do a video on. And by the way, I streamed it, so thank you all for tuning in. Anyways, let's get right into the details. We're gonna talk about the Direct and everything that we saw in it, my opinion on it, and what this means moving forward to the next Direct next week. I don't usually like doing these videos where they get dated instantly, like literally within a week, but hey, these are the final Switch 1 games and I genuinely believe that. So we gotta talk about the final Switch 1 games. First off, the Direct started off with Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake, which is coming out in 2025. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care about this one, so I'm just gonna skip to the ones that I do care about, because we got a lot of filler in this presentation. The first game that I really even cared slightly about was Shadow Labyrinth, which is the Pac-Man spinoff. This is like a 2D Metroidvania game. I don't know what to think about it. I mean, it looks really cool, and I thought it was a little more graphically intense than the initial trailers. It looks like it's running good. I have no major thoughts other than it's getting released on July 18th. But obviously, we gotta get into the Nintendo stuff. Metroid Prime 4 showed up, and my first thought was that it didn't actually look nearly as good as the first trailer we had. It starts by Samus glowing in this ball, and it shows us the first grass area. I don't know if it's the first, but it's this grass area. And yeah, it just doesn't look as dense as the first trailer looked. I'm happy that it seems to be running at 60 frames per second. And also, I'm not saying it looks bad. It actually still looks phenomenal. Looks really, really good. We also got to see Samus's new psychic abilities. And okay, this is looking like a Metroid Prime game. We also got to see a look at the new Samus armor. Yippee. But then we also see that it's coming in 2025 still. No release date. I was very surprised to know that there was no release date that they announced. I thought for sure they would give us one, but here's my theory. We're probably gonna see this next week at the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, and because they didn't show us the release date, this pretty much confirms to me that this is a Switch 2 game, and that it's going to be launched with the Switch 2. Now, maybe they just don't wanna show the release date so that people don't speculate the Switch 2 release date, but I think they would have given it to us, or at least a general idea of when this would come out, but I honestly think this could be a Switch 2 launch day game. I wasn't a huge fan of the first Metroid Prime game. I'd love to see more information about it. I am surprised we did not get any information about Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remakes. This tells me that it's not gonna happen at all, which is a huge waste of potential. Maybe they just never had it in the plans, but I thought for sure that there was plans and rumors of Metroid Prime 2 and 3 coming out. For some reason, we didn't hear about them here, and maybe we'll hear about it next week, but I genuinely just don't think we will, purely because this exists. I thought for sure if they were going to do it, this is where it would be, which makes me think they're not gonna do it at all. So I'm sorry for you Metroid Prime fans, but I don't think we're getting Metroid Prime 2 and 3 on the Nintendo Switch anymore. I thought we would, but I don't think the possibility is very high now. It's devastating, it's sad, but I think that's just what it is. And after they talked and didn't talk about Metroid, yeah, there was a lot of filler in this Direct. So pretty much the next big thing that they talked about was Pokemon Legends ZA. I did not think that they were gonna talk about Legends ZA here at all. Now it is a Nintendo Switch 1 Direct, but they gave us a Pokemon presentations literally not that long ago, like a month ago. So I mean, I'm happy to see the new stuff that they added. I hate to be that guy, but I don't like how this game looks. I thought there could be way more potential for this, and yeah, the graphics are just so unpleasing. Now, of course, I'm still going to play it because that's what I do. I just would have hoped for a little better graphics. I literally just played Xenoblade Chronicles X, and my goodness, that game looks so much better in comparison to even Pokemon Legends Arceus. And it's just so annoying that this Pokemon company that has, I think, the biggest marketable franchise in the world is kind of putting in half the effort, and they're kind of just shelling out these rushed out games to make some quick extra dollars. On top of that, I'm not a huge fan that you're in the city the entire time, and they clarified that even more in this trailer, that every wild zone where you encounter wild Pokemon are still in the city. What does that mean for environments? Does that mean that there's not going to be any massive environments that we even got in Arceus? What the heck is going on? Yeah, Legends ZA, I'm a little worried about it, but as long as it's fun, then it's fun. We got some new gameplay mechanics like the whole ranking system from Z to A, which it just clicked in my brain. It's literally the title of the game. That just clicked. Anyways, we got nothing new release date wise. Once again, this could be a big talking point for the Switch 2 Direct, if they do have a big patch for the Switch 2, but I genuinely just think that Pokemon doesn't even know, and the game's not done, so they're not gonna give us a release date. Think in November. But after they talked about Pokemon, they gave us something that I've been dying for, and I have no idea how it's not on Switch yet. A brand new Rhythm Heaven game! Woo! Yes! Now, I'm a big musical guy. I love the Rhythm Heaven games, and I loved playing them with my brother back in the day on the Wii, on the 3DS. They were constantly fun and always challenged my rhythm skills. And listen, I'm a little bit of a musician. I dabble in the music, and this game also looks like it's a Rhythm Heaven game. Like, there's so many similarities to this. Even the music itself and the just basic simple styles. My problem with this is that it's releasing in 2026. Why? Why in the world is it releasing in 2026? Why would they announce it so early? Nintendo has not been announcing games this early in a long time. Unless it's Metroid Prime. Even with Super Mario Wonder, we had to wait less than 6 months from when they announced it to release it. I find it very odd that they announced this game and are releasing it so late. I would think that they're gonna be releasing these games every month until the Switch 2 comes out, just to pad out some of those game launches, but no, that's literally not the case. They're making us wait till 2026. Maybe they were just dry for announcements. I just find it odd that it's coming out so late, and that was probably the worst part of this announcement. Other than that, it looks really fun. Apparently there's gonna be lots of artists in this game. So I'm pumped, and I'm ready to be smashing to a rhythm, you know? The next thing that they announced is not even a game at all. It's a brand new feature that has to do with virtual games. I instantly got incredibly scared because look, they're not all organized, but I got a lot of Switch 1 games and I love physical collecting. But this kind of scares me because this makes it seem like Nintendo's preparing to stop releasing physical games, or at least not prioritize them as much. They are literally making your virtual games have physical attributes without being physical. It is very bizarre what they're doing. Essentially, you can lend your virtual games that you buy to other family members, friends, all that stuff. It's really weird. I don't really know the logistics of it, but what I do know is that I'm a little bit nervous that this could be the end or the start of the end for physical gaming. I hope not. I'm gonna be doing physical for as long as I can. And then we got a bunch of filler content. But then we got the literal best Nintendo Direct announcement I've ever seen. This is everything I could have asked for, and I can't believe it exists. I'm still shaking. My throat hurts because of how much I screamed. They're giving us a brand new Tomodachi Life called Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Tomodachi Life! Tomodachi Life! Holy smokes! Oh my goodness!
How refreshing.
Oh wow, and I did it! Oh my gosh! Yo! Holy smokes! Yo! Oh my gosh! Leg too? I still can't believe this. How? I played the original Tomodachi Life so much when I was growing up, and I honestly just thought that this would never happen. Nintendo has not really put any love into the Miis, so just the fact that we're reverting back to Miis it just feels surreal. Now, my other theory about Tomodachi Life is that this obviously isn't just a Switch 1 game. The trailer alone looks pretty choppy. This is not even a consistent 30 frames per second. It looks beautiful, but it's not running very good. I really do think that they're gonna be utilizing the Switch 2's power for Tomodachi Life specifically. I also think that they're gonna utilize the Switch 2's mouse mode for this game, because if you remember in the first one, the stylus was like a huge part of that. You have to use a touchscreen for the DS, and I think that's pretty much why we never got that game specifically on the Switch itself. So I think they're gonna be reworking it. You're gonna be able to use controls, and you're gonna be able to use this new Switch 2 mouse mode at a higher frame rate. I am so excited about this. I literally just rambled about that for so long. And to end the Direct, they also gave us a new app called Nintendo Today, which literally just gives us daily updates. This is a very interesting idea. Obviously, I'm going to get the app and I'm going to test it out, but I think the premise is literally you just get daily updates or weekly updates based on new games that are coming out. And I also think that Nintendo Today could be a new feature on the Switch 2 as well. Maybe it'll be Nintendo Today on the little top slit of the Switch 2 screen that's coming out of the dock. And it's available today, so I'll test it out. We'll see what it actually does, if I even end up using it. But I think that this is just Nintendo's way to want to get on mobile phones and of course, stay in everybody's daily mind. They want you to be thinking about Nintendo all the time. We see it with Nintendo Alarmo, we see it with these Nintendo music apps, and of course, we see it with Nintendo Today. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with this mobile app. Now that's pretty much only 4 things that really stood out in the Direct. This was a pretty filler Direct, and without a doubt, they probably had some contractual obligations to fulfill, and a lot of these games are just nothing. I mean, I'm sure there's that odd person out there that likes at least one one of these games, but my goodness, I'm here for the Nintendo stuff. Yeah, I'm excited about that primarily, especially Tomodachi 2, I still can't believe it. Now, I'm also surprised that we didn't get a lot of things. Like I said before, I'm surprised we didn't get any mention of Metroid Prime 2 and 3. That confirms for me that it's not happening at all. And oh well, it's kind of sad, but it is what it is. I also thought that we'd be seeing like a Mario sports game. We've had nothing from Camelot in a really long time, since Mario Golf, I think. So totally thought that they'd be doing at least one other Mario sports game on the Nintendo Switch, but at this point, it seems that they're just going to bring it on the Switch too. That's my theory. The last thing I'm also surprised we didn't see was Kirby Planet Robobot. That was like a long time ago, and it surprised me that it wasn't here. Look at it, Kirby. We haven't seen Kirby in a long time. That guy. This just feels like a perfect filler game for the summer, or at least until the Switch 2 comes out. This is the longest Kirby drought us Nintendo players have had. So, man, I can't believe we didn't get it, but I'm so pumped for Tomodachi Life. And what's crazy is that this is all happening again next week. So my goodness, please join me for the stream next week. Feel free to check out my reaction. And I'm also on the Mario Matter talking about that if you want to see my full in-depth discussions in a podcasting format. The Mario Matter with Swizzle. I love the guy. Let me know what you thought about this direct in the comments below. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. See you later.